Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Welcome. If this is your first time of stopping by, I say welcome. Please consider subscribing to my channel. To my old subscribers, I say thank you very much for all your support. I really appreciate them. For this video we'll be making this lovely bodysuit for our babies. If it's something you are interested in, please watch to the end, and don't forget to check out my other videos, other beautiful styles, and I will see you at the end of the video. So for this style, I'll be starting from my bodies, and to mark my half length, I'll first of all deduct 2 inches from my bodies. You're going to see the reason for deducting these 2 inches as we go on on this video. So I'll deduct 2 inches from it, then mark my half length, which is 11 inches plus 1 inch allowance for the joining and the full and the turning of the shoulder. Then I'm going to go ahead and make a line there. Then for the bodies, when you look at it, you see that it's just the center body that is there, that is covering. The side seam is not there. So I'm going to use my shoulder minus 1 inch. That's my shoulder is 12 inches divided by 2 minus 1, which is 5 inches. That is what I'm going to use to mark the bodies all the way down. Then for the neckline, I went down by 5.5 inches, and for the width I marked for the 5 inches for the length, because I'm going to turn it. So when I turn it, it's going to be 5.5. Then for the width, I'm going to mark 2 inches. By the time I use half inch to plus half inch allowance, by the time I turn it, you are going to have 3 inches there. So I'm going to go ahead and connect the line. And that's all for the front part. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit on the subscribe button. Do not leave today without subscribing to my channel. Subscribe to my channel, join the growing family, share my videos to family and friends, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up as well. So this is it after cutting. I'm going to use the same one to cut out the back. So for the back, remember my fabric is also folded. So for the back, I'm going to the 2 inches I deducted from the front, I'm going to put it back plus 1.5 inches for joining and folding, and it's going to overlap by half inch. So that's what I marked. So the back one is going to have about 3.5 inches allowance up, and every other thing is the same. And also for the back neckline, I'm going to go up by about 4 inches. 4 inches. I don't want the neckline to be the same, just like I'm showing you in the video. And this is it after cutting. You see that the back one is longer than the front. So for the knicker, the short, I'm going to go ahead and mark my length, which is 17 inches. 17 inches. Then because I'm going to deduct 2 inches from there, so I removed 2 inches before marking instead of waiting for the fabric. So instead of marking as 17, I marked as 15. We are going to still add band to it at the waist, and also band as well to the down part of it. So for the crouch, I'm going to mark 9 inches. So this 9 inches is because it's a high waist, and I'm going to also, and remember, we are going to still add band to the waist. So by the time I add my band, it will be about 11 inches. That's because it's a bodysuit. But if it's not a bodysuit, you can just leave it at 9 inches for a normal high waist. Then for the crouch measurement for here, I'm going to mark my upper lap measurement, which is divided by 2. That's the first line I just marked, and this one I just connected is my hip measurement divided by 4, and I'm going to add 1 inch allowance to it, because this style is not going to be a fitted style. So I'm adding about 1 inch or 1.5 inches to make it free at the hip line as well. So for the sewing tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and join the front. I cut out 2 of the front. If you have lining, you can use lining for this. So the front is 2. I'm going to go ahead and stitch all the way, all the places I'm showing you now, and I'll do the same thing for the back one as well. So this is it. After joining joining it together, the next thing I'm going to do is to notch that area, the the block area, the end of the block area. I just hope you understand. Just look at the video, you understand it, so that there will be no tension there. And also cut out the edges on the shoulder parts, and then cut out the end, just to eliminate the bulge at that place. And then I will turn this inside out. So after turning it, I went ahead to iron it before going into my short part of the sewing. So for this short, I'm going to join my 2 crouch front together with about 7.5 0.75 75 inches. So I'm going to join them together. The next thing I did is to join the 2 seam side. That's the front and the back seam side. One back to the one side of the front and the other back to the other side of the front, just like I'm showing you in the video. I'm going to go ahead and stitch it together. This is it after stitching, and I'm going to open it up for us to attach our band first. So for this band, I'm going to mark my actual lap measurement. That's where the short will get to. Then I'm going to take 2 inches more allowance to make it free. Then the remaining inches, which is about 5 inches, I'm going to plait it into the into the short. That's, I'm going to check how much inches that remain, like 5. So each side of the short is going to have about 2.5 inches plated in them. Then the band, I have 4 inches by the measurement that we got earlier. The measurement that we got not included the 5 inches. The 5 inches is just extra for the plating. So I'm going to go ahead and pin the band down, then before going to my sewing machine to stitch it down. And while stitching, remember they are going to plait on the 2 sides of the pants, not on just one. Then I'll do the same thing for the other side of the leg. Then for the waist, I'll do the same thing. I'll measure my actual weight. My waist is 25 inches. I added 2 inches allowance for ease. So the remaining one, I'm going to measure it and divide it into 4, because we have 4 parts of the short when you look at the waist. So I'm going to plait it with exact measurements on the 4 parts of the short while stitching the waistband. So the waistband, you have about 29 inches, about 30 inches. Then for the width, with the length, we have 4 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch this down. Remember that you're going to plait it while stitching down. I don't know if what I'm trying to explain is making sense, but if you don't understand anything, please leave a comment below, and I will attend to your question as soon as possible for all clarification. So this is it after stitching it down. When you look at it closely, you see the all the place in it on the down part and the waistline. So I'm going to go ahead and start closing my the short. to, because now it's looking like a skirt. So I'm going to start closing it up. At first I'm going to close the back crouch together to join it together and then stitch it down. And this is it after stitching it down. The next thing I'm going to do is to place the two inner ties together and then stitch it all the way from one end to the other. So this is it after stitching it down. The next thing you are going to do is to attach the bodice to it, and there are two ways to attach it, and I'm going to show you guys the two ways. So for this one, I'm going to place it here on top of the pants and then measure to the two sides, making sure that I have the same measurement on the two sides. Then I will going to use my pin to secure the to secure it before going to my machines to stitch it down. And the second step, I'm going to go ahead and get the front part of the bodies just like I mark. You can as well notch it as well. Then I'm going to place it at the center of the short, that's on the crush line. I'm going to place it there, use my pin to secure it, and then before stitching it down. And I'm going to also do the same thing for the back. So this is it after stitching it down. It's looking nice and good. So the next thing I'm going to do is to find a way to hold the shoulder part. For you can add your pressing button to it, but for me I'm going to use a velcro tape for this is what I have available, which works very well. So I'm going to go ahead and measure that space and cut out my velcro tape, and I attach it just like I'm showing you in the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up if you do, share my videos to family and friends, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to my channel. And I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.